I was going up 58, headed south, and it's a pretty steep hill there. I had to work my way around a Oldsmobile, a big green Oldsmobile, so I was about in the middle of the street when a car came flying over the hill there, really, really fast, and as he got close to me, I yelled, "Slow down, gasshole." And he slammed on his brakes and skidded to a stop, and I turned and watched, and he actually got sideways as he skidded to a stop. The officer that I talked with, he measured it, and it came out to be about 65 feet long skid marks, continuous skid marks the whole way. He got out of his vehicle, and I turned around and rode maybe halfway towards him, but not all the way towards him. Which put me close to the intersection of Washington and 58th. He started, calling me, he said he was going to kick my ass and calling me all kinds of names and everything else. And I told him I'm not going to fight you, I'm not fighting with you. I just wanted to let him understand that, there are people, there are kids, there's bikes, there's neighbors, there's dogs and animals walking across these streets all the time, and that going that fast is not appropriate. But he was just enraged. He was intent on fighting with me. So he was running uphill after me while I'm on my bike, and so I just went on down Washington, thinking that I could go around the block and just be out of there, but Washington's a dead end there. It's a cul-de-sac. So he'd gone back to his car. I started heading back up the hill on 58th, going south. His car was pointed north towards Stark Street. And as I got a little ways up the hill, I noticed that he was going backwards, and he started coming backwards really, really fast. I was stopped in the middle of the street, and I had to get off my bike, and he backed over the front end of it, backed over my wheel, and as you can see, tacoed that and bent the front fork up. At that point, I just stepped away from the bike, and several neighbors came out of their yard, and we were all in front of his vehicle. Everybody was talking about, calling the police, getting his license plate number, all of that. I think I even started calling out the license plate number. At that point, he jumped back in his car and took off forward this time, with all of us standing in front of his vehicle. With the people on both sides, I really had nowhere to go. I couldn't go right or left because there were people in the way, so I had to go up on the hood, and that's how I ended up on the hood of the car. And he went, another block and a half or so down 58th to get to Stark. He slammed on his brakes, but there were cars coming the other direction, so I didn't feel safe getting off there. Then he took off up Stark with me on top of the car. Fortunately, he stopped or got slow enough that I was able to get off without being hurt. But that was at least 4 blocks that I was riding on the hood of his car. It was more scary because of the guy and the energy coming off of him. He was just really, really angry and intense.